I hope you guys are well today. Welcome back. We are checking in today. Super excited. I just realized that every time I go live on Instagram, I've been doing it wrong. That's neither here nor there. We're going to light our Palo Santos and get started. We got Sage in the building. We got some Palo Santos. We're going to get it started, okay? Just to make sure our energy is clear. We are live, including TikTok, which I have live on TikTok on my phone, but we're going to check in today. Happy you guys are here. If you are unfamiliar with me, my name is Sade. I go by the Barefoot Therapist. I'm really excited to be live with y'all. My intention is to try to go live at least once a week. If you guys have any recommendations, suggestions on when to go live, because I think the evening is just a better situation for adults. But because in the evening my children are here, it makes it real interesting, and I like to be uninterrupted and be able to give my full attention. So I want to do like a lunchtime situation, but I think I just need to schedule it more consistently so people are able to attend. But this Palo Santos is for all of us, okay? I hope your day is going well. It's productive, it's clear, it's clean, clear, and under control, as they say. But we've got our Palo Santos just in case. And I've got my Sage over here chilling. But we certainly are going to get it going. If you guys have not signed up for the waitlist for the retreat is in Costa Rica. I am solidifying the final documents, details, because you guys, it's going to be freaking amazing. My first retreat in Costa Rica. I'm so excited. And I'm going to be releasing it to those who are on the wait list first, because there's limited spacing. I have way more people on the wait list than I have spaces. It's going to be very, very limited. The place that we're going is very secluded, so it required a lot of logistics and planning in planning this retreat. But I can promise you it is going to be amazing. It is logistically fantastic. I've been taking my time. I haven't released anything yet. Hi, thank you so much. Because I wanted to do it right. I don't just throw shit together. I don't just do shit. I like to do shit right. I want people to come and spend their money and have an amazingly curated and cared for time. The intention in my retreat is to take care of you. Is so many of my Black women I see just need somebody to ask about their day, to show up, and they don't have to plan anything. They don't have to think of anything. They don't have to figure it out. They don't have to carry any of the mental load. All of that is on me. The idea is that you show up as yourself. You have the time, space, and energy to just think about you and take care of you. That is quite literally the intention of this retreat. I want to make it an annual experience that is curated specifically for you guys. However, I want to say that I want these retreats to be international. So this one is in Costa Rica. I'm already looking at 2028's retreat. And I'm really between a few places. I wanted to do Portugal. They have some beautiful, like really intentional spaces in Portugal. Where else? I looked at Guatemala. I looked at Turkey was another one. Turkey's really high on my list. But I want to travel to places that I've never been, that people not only are getting a curated vacation experience where you're going places you've never been, but it's a retreat, as in, I just want you to think about you. We're going to have group coaching sessions. You get an individual coaching session. All of your activities, all of your food is included. Your your in-country flight is included, because like I said, where we're going is secluded. We will be the only group on the property. So it is a beautiful opportunity and experience. It is not touristy. If you're looking for a touristy, I want to turn up, I want to drink and all of that, that's not what this is. It is a alcohol-free space. It is a drug-free space. This is literally for you to get you together from the inside out. Everything from the food to your day-to-day experiences is curated with love. It is not jam-packed with shit for you to do. I want people to have time to figure themselves out and sit with themselves. So often we are in the hustle and bustle of day-to-day. We don't even take the time to take care of ourselves. This is the trip to recalibrate that. This is a trip to start healthy routines. This is a trip to focus on you. So if you want to kiki and live it up with your friends, it's not this. That's not what this retreat is about. If you want to reconnect with you, if you want to revisit where you are, why you are, what your purpose is, this is what this is all about. If you want somewhere to be taken care of, that's what this is about. It is not for you to worry. It is not for you to do all the mental, physical, and emotional labor. It's for you to show the fuck up and enjoy yourself. Have fun again. Find joy again. That's what this is about. It is a small group of women. So I just wanted to throw that out. The details will be released this week to all of the people on the wait list. If you're not on the wait list, you can click the link in my bio. It is the Mahogany Project, spelled projek.com. That is my website. It'll take you to the retreat link to get on the wait list, or I can send you guys a link to get on the wait list. All right. We are doing a check-in today. If y'all can drop down in the chat and let me know what is a good time to go live. And I was speaking earlier about not wanting to go live in the evenings because as I've shared with most of you, I have small kids and I don't like to be interrupted. I like to have really dedicated, intentional, and focused time. So the evenings really just do not work for me. I would like to do like a lunchtime situation. So how do you guys feel about like a lunchtime live once a week? And if so, what is the day that sounds good? Even if you can't, even if you can come on and like sit your phone and listen, I just want an opportunity to come live consistently if I can, now that I have the time and space to do so. Okay, that's fair. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. No specific time. Okay. Is there a specific day or time that works for you guys? Thursdays. All right. And I'm taking notes. So Thursdays. Okay. 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 Thursdays is the first suggestion. Lunchtime is a great time except Saturdays and Wednesdays. Okay. How do you guys feel about Fridays? What about like a Friday situation? Because I was thinking about Fridays because I usually don't see any clients on Fridays. I'm usually have like personal time and then some admin time on Fridays. So I thought that might be a really good day to do. But again, I move my schedule around. This is my summer schedule. I'm going to make some adjustments to my schedule when the school year starts. So I kind of just do what I need to do with that. But I'm thinking about my schedule for the next semester, if you will, because that's just kind of usually how I move it. Friday is perfect. Okay. What do y'all think about Fridays? And y'all, I'm looking both places. I'm on my phone. I'm live on my phone on TikTok and then everywhere else on the computer, on my computer. So I'm looking in both places. So I wanted to, as you guys continue, please drop down in the chat and let me know what your thoughts and feelings were. This Cheyenne Bryant thing, you guys, has been really irritating my spirit. I try not to, consistently make it a point to speak on like pop culture events and stuff, but I wanted to maybe take this to a higher conversation, and I'm gonna want to get you guys' perspective on this. The one reason why the Cheyenne Bryant conversation is really difficult for people to rock, especially people who are actually doing this work, is because it can be very dangerous. It's a reason why it is unethical and illegal most times to call yourself a doctor or something and you're not. There is an expectation of education. There's a trust that comes along with titles, and you have to be honest about that. I am someone who has been a licensed provider for many, many years. I've been in the work of therapy for 15 years. People trust me just based on that alone. They don't ask to see my degrees. I can show them. They don't ask to see my license. I can show them quite literally. You can look it up on the internet. But there's a certain level of trust that comes with that. And that trust is sacred because, you know, people come in and they are giving of themselves and very vulnerable in these spaces, that they are listening to us, whether it be on social media or like this interaction now or whatever space that we hold. They entrust us because we are presenting ourselves as professionals. I don't think I've shared this, but I am in a PhD program currently to get my doctorate. Actually, I did last time because I had an assignment due and I was like, not trying to do that shit. It is going back to school is very ghetto. I'm really stressed out, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm in school to get my PhD, and the work that I'm having to do is hell and high water, as Olivia Pope's daddy said, Papa Pope. School is the hell and the high water, and the amount of effort, energy, time, money that is going into me getting these PhD. I be damned. All right, I be damned. But I just wanted to say that because I think that it was an interesting conversation that they were having on the Joe Budden podcast about pretty privilege. And I do believe that Dr. Cheyenne is beautiful. So part of people wanting to believe her, wanting to support her, is absolutely based on her looks. It's absolutely based on her having confidence and talking the talk. But I can absolutely say, and the thing that I said to myself is something is wrong. This is bigger than like someone just lying. This is where narcissism comes in. When people use the word narcissist now, it's because they're irritated and somebody did some harm. But listen, narcissism is diagnosable, okay? There is some level of dysfunction happening that is excessive. And it's concerning on many, many levels. But I just wanted to get that right on out the way. Today, we're going to chat about boundaries. Boundaries. And I cannot chat about this enough because boundaries are necessary in relationships. They're not optional. Not having anything is not doing you any favors or the person that you love and care about. It's not doing anybody any favors. You have to have boundaries in order to be productive in relationships. That's just a fact. Not having them creates more extended and long-term harm. And then you're building expectations around not having boundaries. That is very dangerous. Boundaries should be expected. Limits should be expected. It should not be expected that you get to just run all over me and do whatever you want whenever you want. That is an unreasonable expectation. But I do find that often people set their relationships up that way. They want to be needed really badly. They want to be wanted really badly, but they want to be wanted under the guise that they are willing to do any and everything, including sacrifice themselves. That is a really dangerous precedence to set because people are going to consistently expect it. Just because you're tired of doing it doesn't mean they're going to change. Just because you're hoping they come along doesn't mean it's going to change. Just because you hoping you set the model doesn't mean it's going to change. You're setting yourself up to be disappointed. Boundaries are protection. But I have to say it again. Boundaries are protection. No is a full sentence. No saves both you and me. Because if I continue to say yes, who I have to be or how I have to show up in order to give you that yes is not necessarily helpful for either one of us. So how are you incorporating boundaries? How are you being intentional about making sure that you're setting yourself and your relationships up for success and not giving this unreasonable amount of people pleasing? And and I can't say that I get it. We want to be wanted. We want to be loved. We want to be honored. We want to be cared for, but at what cost? Because some shit is just too expensive. I don't know about for y'all, but my dignity is too expensive. My time is too expensive. my psychological and emotional well-being is too expensive. It's just too expensive to give it away just to be liked temporarily, just to be desired temporarily, just to be in the in group temporarily, because all that shit is temporary. Because guess what happens? The moment you set that precedence, and this is sage for all of us, the moment you set the precedence that your boundaries are optional, that's how people are going to treat them, like they're optional. The moment you set the precedence that you are willing to sacrifice yourself for their joy, their happiness, their stability, their this, their that, that's what they gonna make you do. You better believe they gonna hold you to it. Both and either consciously or subconsciously. You're gonna have to hold up for that. If you don't plan on sustaining that level of engagement, don't start it. And it's hard because we all want to be accepted. We all want to feel a part of something. We all want to be loved and cherished and taken care of. But oftentimes we set ourselves up to get just the opposite. We don't even prioritize people having to prioritize us. We don't even make that a requirement. We make it optional. It's not fucking optional. One of the questions I get a lot is, let me take this off Bluetooth. One of the questions I get a lot is, why do people not check on me? Why do I feel like, I go out of my way for people. I take care of people. I call and check up on them. You haven't even made it a requirement. You haven't even given space for you to not do all the work. You do all the work. Why should I? Fuck. That's just like in a group project, right? We in a group. I know all of y'all have had the group project woes. We in a group project and you got the person that raised their hand and they gonna do all the work. And I know they good at it. You go ahead and get a good grade for both of us. You go ahead and do all the work and get a good grade for both of us. You think I'm about to stop you? You think I'm about to stop you for doing what you love and what you good at? Who knows? I don't know that they crying in the car and they crying at home and they stressed out and they not eating because they taken on all the responsibility for the group work, but who's not going to let you do it? You volunteered. You are making it an intentional part of what you chose is to do all the work. You think it's different in relationships. It's not. There are times where people are like, hey, I want to meet you. I want to do. But let's be honest. In our day-to-day lives, we are all beyond fucking capacity. We are beyond capacity. Everybody's tired. Everybody's overworked. Everybody is just burning it at both ends. We're all looking for sustainability. And if that is something you are going to take off my plate, why wouldn't I do it? Make it make sense for all of us. If you're volunteering to do all the work, why wouldn't I do it? I will love you down. But if you're going to make things a little bit easier for me, I'm going to let you do it. And that doesn't mean I don't make things easier for you in another area, but stop complaining about the thing that you're setting up and getting exactly the outcome you set it up for. Exactly the outcome. The outcome is I'm lonely. Nobody checks on me. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the calling and the texting and the checking in. Well, shit, that's what you signed up for. You signed up to do all the work in the relationship. So now that you don't want to do it, you want them to figure it out through your modeling? I wish I could tell you that it worked. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. We are all adults at this juncture. That is not how it works. If you start out wanting to do all the work, you better believe, you better let it be sustainable. Let it be sustainable. Stop setting yourself up to be disappointed. Let people do the work. And if, one of the things I hear too is, well, my fear is, well, people are not going to show up for me, but they're not showing up anyway. The fuck? What do you have to lose? They not showing up anyway. Why not let them show up? If you're afraid of the disappointment, shit, the disappointment is not worse than the exhaustion for me. The exhaustion is more consistent. I'm already disappointed that you won't even make the effort. I'm already disappointed. What? I just don't see. In my mind, the worst case scenario is already active. We're already there. So if that's the worst case scenario, what do I have to lose? I think that is my question. If worst case scenario, if that's it, what am I losing? If you're already not calling me, if I'm having to do all the emotional and psychological lifting, if I have to do all the initiating, if I have to do, or at least 85% of it, 95% of it, what am I losing? I'm trying to understand. Help me. Somebody help me. And I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gather me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to understand what we're losing if we're already doing all the work. People be so afraid of shit that's already happening. Like, it's already happening. But is it the rejection? Is it they just not gonna call me? They're not gonna. I unfortunately had to learn the hard way through many, many relationships that sometimes your relationships work because you do the work and you're convenient. You make yourself accessible. They have no intention in working hard for your time. They have no intention in initiating. They have no intention in prioritizing you. They have no intention. That part is heartbreaking. That part you will grieve. That part will, the immense level of sadness until it's not. Until you learn and you don't recreate those engagements. I'm going to tell you the other thing that seems to be a part of this is not allowing relationships to process themselves out. When something isn't working, let it fizzle out. Why are we afraid to let shit fizzle out? Why? Because we're afraid our biggest fear is going to come true. You're exactly who I thought you fucking were. Why did I say it like that? You are exactly who I thought you were. And my fear is that I dedicated all this time, energy, money, blah, 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 blah. All this time, money, energy, and all this stuff into someone that I should have walked away from. Now I can't forgive myself. The biggest struggle is not forgiving you for your choices. But then when you don't, you keep making the same choices. So it's almost a double-edged sword, right? It is a double-edged sword, quite literally. Either you do the work, you create the boundaries, you do the things, or you keep recreating the same cycles with different people. In order to break cycles, you have to create new ones. There has to be an interruptive experience that is consistent. You got to be willing to do it. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to be disappointed, unfortunately. You have to be willing to see that there's something else on the other side of it. You have to be willing to see. Be willing to question. Be willing to explore. Be curious. Or it will consistently continue. It just will. And what are you willing to do about it is the question. How does that work? It is up to you. I would say certainly do the work. Certainly make sure you're in therapy. You're taking care of yourself. You are actively working on you to get different results, but changing patterns are possible. Just requires work. It requires intention. It requires effort. And yes, they have to meet you there. And sometimes they won't. And you can grieve that too. He ain't died yet. He's still here. Shit is heartbreaking, but it don't last forever. It just don't. But y'all got this. You got it. What are the fears? Correct me if I'm wrong. I've just seen it too many times. Both personally and professionally. I've seen it too many times. And it's not even, really about doing it right more than just doing it at all. It's less about perfection and more about effort, follow through. You got to just do it. You got to just do it. What are the fears around establishing boundaries, especially if you believe it's already gone too far? You've let it go on too long. What are the fears? We lighten sage. We need sage in these conversations, y'all. I had my Palo Santos earlier. We're clearing the space. All right. What are the fears? Because usually that is what controls your choices. You don't want to do something because. You don't want to set the boundary because. You want to keep letting them run all over you because. You want to appease them because. What is the because? The because is keeping you stuck. The because is keeping you stuck. So what is keeping you stuck? There's something. It's something keeping you stuck. This is a side note, y'all. Some of my babies are doing so good. I had to repot a bunch of plants today, underwater, blah, blah, blah. Some of them are sitting in their underwater bath. But I love when I have to do some plant chores this morning. I love when my plants are taken care of. They look so good. But we're talking about boundaries. Let me not get distracted. Excuse me. What being misunderstood, not knowing how to formulate the feelings into a stated boundary. So this is, if you guys have heard of I statements, I want to drop a quick tool. If you guys have heard of I statements, I am going to use you give a random example. I do not like it when I have to initiate our interactions, whether that's a phone call, visiting, when I have to do the work. I need you to initiate more. And in the event that you don't, I am going to distance myself. I am no longer doing the heavy lifting in our relationship. That needs to be a balanced interaction. And I love our relationship, but I don't love feeling like it's on me to carry it. That is a boundary. And it's said with love. You don't have to be hateful. You ain't got to cuss them out. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do it. And let me explain. Listen, because I have a free course on boundaries. It should be on my online. It should be on my online academy, I believe, but it's free if you guys want to take advantage of that. They don't have to agree. This is where we get it fucked up. They don't have to agree. If you're waiting for them to be like, oh my God, you're right. This is not a conversation that you go into hoping, wishing, like if this works, they're going to agree. That's not how this works. You are setting the boundary and you have to be willing to follow through with it regardless. So don't set a consequence you're not really ready to follow through with and stand on. Don't set an unreasonable consequence. They don't have to do nothing. They don't even have to give a fuck. You got to be prepared to stand on it. Your boundary is only as effective as your follow through. Giving an example. Excuse me. Oh. Thank y'all. Where is it? Oh. I was looking for my sanitizer, but I don't see it. Okay. Sanitizer. Okay, this is an example. If I'll actually, let me give you an easy example. We'll use kids, right? My daughter likes to fiddle in the morning. She loves to fiddle. I mean, on nothing, anything and nothing, fiddle. I am a very structured individual. I get up by alarm clock every morning. I get up very early. I like things to go smoothly as possible. We did the routine is the routine. It's a routine is a routine. So she gets up. I wake her up almost an hour earlier because she fiddles. Because I know she fiddles and I want to give her time to fiddle. I wake her up an hour early. My rule is this: no TV, no tablet in the morning. No TV, no tablet. The only electronics they can have on until they are dressed and ready to walk out the door is Alexa. They can have music. I walk in the room, there's a tablet. Now, this is my warning. You know the rules. Turn the tablet off or you're going to lose it. Okay? We know the rules. And I had the right at that moment to take it away. I gave her a warning. I came back, and sure as shit stank, she's getting dressed and doing what? Watching a tablet. I proceed to not say a word. I get the tablet, I turn it off, I take it. We don't have nothing to talk about. I've already established the boundary. I have communicated it to you. I have given you, hey, just letting you know, remember, we don't have that. What else? I'm not going to convince you. Convince for what? It's my boundary. I don't need to convince you. I don't need to beg you. I don't need to plead with you. No, because if I have to do all that, I've lost the respect I wanted to garner in the first place. It's gone. I established the boundary. I established the consequence. Both I'm following through on. The less you follow through, the less cooperation you get. When the respect is gone and they know you're not going to do nothing, they really don't give a shit. That goes for kids. That goes for adults. We know how that works. Let's even use the example with like being late. I used to work at this job many years ago where the director, her office was right by where we clocked in. She was a stickler for being on time. If you're just coming in, the conversations around boundaries, this is the example. She was a stickler about being on time, and she was going to get in your ass. If you kept being late, you were going to get written up. You could lose your job. It was just that simple. So I don't give a damn what I was doing. I was getting to that job on time. And it took for me to see her do it to somebody else to know she wasn't fucking playing. It took for her to make an example out of somebody else for me to know sis was not playing. When I say be on time, that's what the fuck I mean. And when I say you will lose your job for not being on time, essentially not respecting the rules, not respecting the limits, that's what I mean. You ain't, I don't give a damn if listen. I don't care what I had to do. I was going to be to that job on time. Did I mess up sometimes? Did I, was I late a few times? Yes. But one thing I was going to do my best at doing was being on time. The boundary was set. The consequence was really inconsistent. I needed my job. The motivation was there. I needed my check. So I was going to go to this job and get there on time. That's how it works. You can apply that to any other area of your life. The boundary is stated, it's clear, it's communicated. The consequence is consistent, and it is followed through. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. And in fact, I find the less that I speak, the less that I over explain, the less that I try to get people to get it, the more they do. The more they do. Because on the other end, now I'm overworking. Now I'm working harder for the both of us. I'm working hard for the both of us. Been there, done that. I have small children. You think that I'm about to do that with adults? I have small children. My youngest is 3. I have to repeat myself as a routine on a regular basis for things they do every day, all the time. Do you think it's reasonable for you to do that with adults? No. And no. Again, if you don't hear anything else I said today, a boundary is as serious as you are. And what's crazy is I've gotten so much more act right, call it whatever you want, act right, balance, harmony, blah, 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 blah. The less that I speak, the less that I explain, the less that I'm overworking, and the less I get more. I get so much more, and I've got so much more of my time back, not working for the both of us. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it is hard, and every situation is a little bit different. But boundaries are, So the conversation today is about boundaries. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, share the live, share the clip. You can check this out. The long form will be on YouTube because I'm going live from there too. And I hope to see y'all soon. Oh, don't forget to register for the retreat. I talked about it at the beginning of this live, but the retreat will be in May 2027, and we're going to Costa Rica. If you are interested, it is very limited space. We will have 12 spaces at max. That's all I can carry, and our wait list is at 40. So if you are interested, when I drop it, I suggest you do what you need to do. I am hoping to completely sell this out and make it an annual experience. I would love to do it multiple times a year, but I can tell y'all, planning this retreat, trying to get every single detail covered and taken care of is a lot. So I'm, as of now, gonna make it annual, but my goal is for it to increase over time, but at the very least, it will be annual. So I will see y'all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.